Welcome back to another video. It has been way too long and I have something to admit. I completely underestimated how difficult it is to take care of a baby, work full-time, train for a marathon, and keep up with everything else going on in my life. So at the very least, life has been kind of crazy and running has definitely been in the backseat. Actually, take that back. Running got completely kicked out of the car, to be honest. But I am really excited to say that at about the start of the new year, I really started to get back on track, start stacking some bricks, figure out what works for training, and I'm really hoping to keep the ball rolling. And so my hope for this video is to just share with you guys what's been working for me. Back when I was a college athlete and before I had a baby, my training looked entirely different. I had way more flexibility, and that's just not the case anymore. So my hope with this video is just to share with you guys what's working for me, what adjustments I've made, and how I've shifted my mindset to better fit the stage of life that I'm in right now. But before we get into this video, I just wanted to share a quick training update. So I know previously I shared with you guys that I was training for the Little Rock Marathon, but you can probably expect with how this conversation has been going so far that that is not still the plan. And you're right. I am not planning to run the Little Rock Marathon anymore, but I am running the Little Rock Half Marathon, which I'm really excited about, just to see where I'm at fitness-wise, but I'm not quite ready to run a marathon. So my plan is to run the Little Rock Half Marathon and then continue training and hopefully run the Oklahoma City Marathon in late April. So that is now the plan for training, and let's go ahead and hop into this video. Hey guys, it's now Thursday evening, and so I am just quickly getting everything ready for tomorrow's workout. And so just coming in here to get my clothes set out so that I can make my life as easy as possible when I'm getting up in the morning. And also, please excuse our messy closet, but this is like the extra closet for overflow, and all my running stuff is just like stashed away in here. But anyways, just going ahead and grabbing what I'm gonna wear tomorrow so that I can just have it set out. That's one way that I personally just think makes it so much easier to get up in the mornings. I can't remember I've heard this, but I at one point heard somebody say that like set yourself up to make it as convenient and easy as possible for you to get out of bed in the morning. So that's really what I try to do, and I really feel like that's actually helped so much. I'm kind of just grabbing things. So tomorrow's kind of like that weird weather spot where it's like too warm for a long sleeve but kind of chilly in a tank top. But I do have a workout, so I know I'm gonna warm up. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and run in a tank top, but I'm gonna take a sweatshirt and I'll probably warm up in that. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and go get these set out. I pretty much get everything I can set out so that, like I said, it's as convenient for me as possible. And so in the morning, I can literally just roll out of bed, everything's set out, everything's ready to go. And that's just one way that I feel like it sets me up for success, because I know I don't even have to use my brain. I just have to basically grab the things that are already set out. Okay, so just setting all of my clothes right here. I actually forgot my hat, so I will be right back. 1 second. Okay, so I'm back and I've got my hat. I usually wear a hat in the mornings because I have a light that I just clip to it since it's dark. I usually get going around 5-ish, so the sun's not up yet. So I have my clothes set out here, my shoes are in there by the door, and then now I'm about to go set out my fuel as well. So I also go ahead and get my water filled up and get my fuel set out as well, just so that I can have everything as prepared as possible to make my life as easy as I can in the morning. And so for tomorrow, I've just got some Propel, so just gonna put that in with my water to drink during the workout. And then along with that, I've also just got a little bit of breakfast, so I have something in my stomach, and I've just got like a little Bobo's oat bite, and these are pretty good, just some quick carbs for in the morning. Alright, so we're all set. Water's in the fridge, snacks out, clothes are set out. So now I just have to get the alarm set and get to bed. Okay, and now last but not least, I'm also just setting my alarm for tomorrow. The plan is to get up at 4:30 a.m. So that's what I have this sat here for. And then really just the last thing I do of just like setting myself up to get up when I need to in the morning is, this may sound cheesy, but just visualizing myself doing it. So if I go to bed and I'm just like, gosh, I'm so tired, I don't want to get up in the morning, 4:30 is just so early, I feel like it just mentally is already setting me up to be like miserable when I wake up, to be tired and not want to get out of bed. So I really try to go to bed with a positive attitude of like, I'm getting, you know, a good sleep, even if it's not very long. I'm gonna get a good sleep. I'm ready to go. I'm excited for tomorrow. I've got everything set out. I've set myself up to do well. And so I just really try to go to bed thinking that I'm gonna get plenty of sleep. I'm gonna wake up feeling refreshed, and I'm going to get out of bed and go and kill the workout. So that's kind of my routine and ways of helping myself prepare and set myself up to get a good run in the morning. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get to bed. So I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning. We've made it to the park that I'm running at, and so just getting my AirPods, grabbing my phone, getting a last swig of water, and then heading out on my warm-up. It's a little dark out here, so I've got my headlamp. Here we go. Alright, and I'm back. Warm-up is finished. I got in a 15-minute warm-up. Sorry, I can't talk, it's early. But now getting into the workout. So the plan for today, 4 to 5 sets of 1200, 400. And so the goal is for the 1200 to be around threshold pace, and then to get 30 seconds standing rest, and then run a 400 pretty quick. I don't really know how fast I can run these in, but I definitely want to be controlled, but pretty quick. And then 90-second jog recovery in between sets. And like I said, 4 to 5 sets. I've gotten to where I really give myself some just like ranges. I don't like to set necessarily specific paces and just go off of effort. I feel like that's worked really well for me, especially coming back from having a baby. It helps me not to set like rigid expectations on myself. I don't feel like a workout was a failure if I'm not hitting paces or something like that. And so just kind of having a range in terms of how far I want to go, and then an effort that I want to hit. And so I think that has just been really helpful for me in this build, and especially since I've like had quite a few chunks where I was inconsistent, and so I was getting a little frustrated with training. Now I just have started to figure out what works best, and that's where we're at. So we're gonna get out here, give a threshold effort for the 1200, hard effort for the 4, take the breaks, 4 to 5 sets, and see what we can do. So I will catch you guys after the workout. Right, workout is done. Oh, I had started a podcast. So the workout's finished. I ended up doing 4 sets, and I actually, okay, I just can't get that to stop. Anyways, did 4 sets, felt pretty good. I honestly underestimated the wind out there. I didn't even really look or realize that it was supposed to be so windy, but I didn't set myself up very well, and like where I started, I ended up like running into the headwind for a lot of the 1200 for about half of it, and then for like pretty much the entire 400. So that was fun. But anyways, I feel pretty good about it. I put in a good effort, and now I've got to get back home, get ready for work. We're kind of at a point which has been really nice that Stetson, I feel like usually we'll sleep until at least about 6:30, and it's like 6:45 right now. And so previously we were having some trouble with him getting up super early, so I was having to go back home early because my husband just like couldn't get ready as fast as he needed to with Stetson. But I feel like we're getting to a good spot with him being about 8 months now. We're starting to really, I feel like, I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like we're starting to be pretty good at sleep, and so I know that it can change. But as of right now, we're rolling with it, and it's been really nice, and I've been actually able to get in most of my runs, so really happy with that, and happy with the fact that I'm getting some consistency. I'm stacking some bricks, so I'm gonna work out today, and I'm gonna head back home and get ready for work. So currently sitting here playing and hanging out with Stetson, but I'm about to attempt to get in a little bit of strength work. So this was another area that I totally had to change and adapt once I became a mom. So I was used to being able to go run and then go get my lift in and, you know, then foam roll or whatever it was, just do all the things and really be able to take a good amount of time to do so. And now just with having him, I was having to get up at a ridiculous hour so that I could get all of that in, and it just was not maintainable for me, did not work for me. And I was really just starting my days off extremely tired, and it just wasn't working. And so one way that I found that I can multitask a little bit, I can get some strength work in while hanging out with Stetson instead of trying to do so before my husband leaves for work or super late at night after he goes to bed. And this just seems to work out a lot better for us. Yes, there's a lot more pauses and it's a little bit more chaotic, and sometimes I get the strength work finished, sometimes I don't, sometimes we take breaks, but that's okay. I'm putting the effort in and we have a good time. And so that's just another way that I am being flexible with training and making it work while also being a mom. Yeah, yeah. Hey guys, happy Saturday. I'm about to head out and get a run in. I had originally planned to get this run in pretty early this morning, but as you can see with it being light outside, it's definitely not that early. It's about 9 o'clock. Stetson had gotten up really early this morning, so I actually think I might have jinxed it yesterday, but that's okay. It is the weekend, and so we had a lot less of a busy morning, and so I just put him down for his nap. So now I'm going to get my run in while Matthew is here with him. Sorry, that was probably kind of loud. That car is flying. But anyways, just about to go get some miles in while he's sleeping. I'm planning to do about 30 to 45 minutes easy. So gonna get out here and go ahead and go hit the roads. Alright, so we're almost 2 miles into the run. It's kind of windy, so I'm hoping that doesn't miss this audio, but we'll see. Planning on getting 30 to 45 minutes. So this is kind of a newer approach that I've taken. That's another way that's kind of helped me get my runs in, stay consistent. But basically, I've switched from having specific distances I'm trying to go and doing more of like a time goal, especially for easy runs, and just like regular recovery runs and things like that. So having the range has really helped with like basically the lower end is kind of what I'm trying to get. If the day's not perfect, maybe Stetson gets up, things like that. And the longer one is kind of like everything went to plan and I was able to run as much as I wanted to without anything coming up, because there's lots of things that do seem to come up. But there's like pretty stream. But I used to really think like if I didn't get, you know, if I set out to do 5 miles and I only had 30 minutes, it was like, okay, well, I'm just not gonna run because okay, my arm was getting tired and I'm about to turn around, so I went ahead and just stopped. But basically, if I didn't get like that 5 miles in, or I couldn't, I'd be like, okay, well, there's no point in me running. So I've really tried to do better about one, getting out the door, even when I can't get the whole run in. So even if I couldn't get 30 in a day, if I can only get 10, get out the door. You can't control everything, and so what I can control is that I'm putting the effort in when I can. And then also just taking advantage of having the range so that if I do 30 minutes or 45 minutes or somewhere in between, I'm still having a successful day, I'm still putting some effort in, and I'm still getting miles in. You help me push them. You got to turn on. And that's it. So spray. Good morning guys, happy Sunday. It's now long run day, so about to get out here and hopefully get in 14 miles to wrap up the week. I'm more of a Saturday long run person, but it worked better to do it Sunday this week, so being flexible and just getting it in this morning before church. Eating a little bit of a fig bar real quick before. This is one of the Bobo's fig bars. I really like how well Bobo sits in my stomach, and it's just a quick source of carbs with pretty clean ingredients. So eating this really quickly, and then gonna get out there and get to it. Yesterday afternoon we went up towards Fayetteville with Matthew because he was officiating basketball games. That was kind of fun, and we also got canes afterwards, which is one of my favorites, so that was nice. Definitely not the healthiest, definitely not the best option before a long run. However, it was really good. So for the long run, I do feel like that's one run where you just kind of have to take the time to go get it. But obviously with a long run being quite a few miles, it takes a while. And so that is just one day I feel like I have to kind of put it in our schedule of like, I'm going to be going for a long run for a couple hours. Make sure Matthew's okay with it. Make sure not have anything planned during that time. So that is one day that I really have to kind of schedule out. Because even if I go really early, say I start at something ridiculous and start at 5 a.m., I'm not going to be done before Stetson gets up. So I do try to have that kind of planned out before I get to the weekend, so that when I get there, I'm not stressed, scrambling. I just already have an idea of what's going to happen, and Matthew or whoever already has an idea as well of when I'm planning to go and how long. So that's kind of how I fit it in on the weekends and make sure that I have plenty of time to get my long run in. So as for fuel for the run, like I said, I had a Bobo's fig bar, and then for during the run, I have 2 gels, which are Honey Stinger. Both of those I have the links in my bio, and I think Bobo's you get $5 off if you use my link, and so check those out. They're both really great brands, and I really enjoy using them for my fuel for runs and training. So we've made it to the end of the weekend. It's now Sunday evening, and as for the run this morning, I ended up getting about 12.5 miles, so I cut it a little bit short from what my original plan was of 14. Stetson woke up not feeling great this morning, so I just really needed to get back to take care of him, which was a-okay. And he even seems to already be feeling a little bit better, which is good. We think he may be dealing with a little bit of teething. Also trying to get better at is just remembering that I can only control what I can control. So obviously with Stetson being way higher of a priority than my running, sometimes me finishing up a run or getting the entirety of it done just doesn't happen, and it's not the priority. And even something like maybe I had a rough night of sleep because he was up quite a bit, that's just another example of really just something that was out of my control. But one thing that I can usually control is how I fuel and how well I fuel throughout the week. And so my plan for this evening, which is what most of my Sunday evenings look like, is meal prepping and getting myself set up for the week so that I have ingredients or meals already set up so that I can be in a good place to fuel well throughout the week, because like I said, that is something that I usually can control. So what I usually do is first wash all of my produce. I like to have some produce on hand for snacking, and then we also have some vegetables and things that are part of our meals for the week. I usually go ahead and plan out a few meals that I plan to make so that we have the items for those and they're ready to go as well. And then a little bit of an addition to my meal prep is also that I've been trying to learn how to make bread. And so this evening I made homemade pizza dough, and we made pizzas. We were watching the Super Bowl with that being today, and so went ahead and made some homemade pizza crust, and then we made barbecue chicken pizzas, which were so good. So we did barbecue sauce with shredded chicken and green peppers and onions and cheese, and those ended up being really tasty. And I made extra as well so that we have some for lunch tomorrow. We do that quite a bit. That usually makes things easy, whereas if I can just make a little bit extra, we'll have a whole nother meal prepped as well. And then I also went ahead and filled up a couple containers with frozen fruit, so I have these ready to make smoothies in the morning. Most mornings I have a protein smoothie, and so this way I already have what frozen fruit I'm going to put in ready so that I don't have to drag everything out. It really just makes my mornings that much easier. And then another thing that makes our mornings way easier is meal prepping breakfast. As for breakfast, we're usually kind of rushing, trying to get out the door, and so prepping breakfast really sets us up well for the week. And so we did breakfast burritos for this week. So they had pork, the rest of those green peppers and onions, eggs. We'll put that in the refrigerator, and so in the mornings you can just put some cheese with it, throw it on a tortilla, and make a little burrito out of it, which are super convenient. And that pretty much wraps up what I made this evening for meal prep. It's always great having produce and breakfast prepped. Those are kind of my top two most important. But then jumping back over to training, I did get about 42 miles this week, which is exciting, and I'm about 3 weeks out from the Little Rock Half Marathon, and then I guess just a couple months away from Oklahoma City Marathon, which is so exciting. And I'm really excited that I'm starting to get some consistent work together, starting to just stack some bricks. And I hope a few of the ways that I'm trying to be more consistent with training with a busy schedule and a little kiddo were helpful for some of you guys. And if anyone has anything else that they'd like to add or that they find is helpful, feel free to add that into the comments. And that'll wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.